I know you really want to know how Pearlman was able to get Joe Rogan's spin. And you've been seeing videos about him online, how he's able to read people's minds and just tell them what they are thinking. Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. Now, there are two ways of doing it. You can either use a trick, or you can do it the normal way, which is telepathy, which is real, it's possible. But before I teach you, I want to tell you my experience. Now, we call it the prophetic, right? Most people call it the prophetic in Christianity. They call it the prophetic. But there's something called telepathy, which is the ability to read minds. In 2018, not 2018, I'm trying to remember. You see, I'm trying to create a visualization in my mind to remember an event that happened in the past, which is something most people use to get information, like astral information, to enter people's mind, to read people's thoughts. You have to do that. Now I'm trying to create a mental image. So now I can remember the exact year, 2021. I met a lady and I asked her, what is your date of birth? And I said, stop, immediately. As she was about to tell me her date of birth, I said, stop. I said, no, don't worry, stop. Then I told her, December 21st. And she screamed. She was like, how did I know? How did I know? You know, there was another lady, okay, that I met one time. I'm going to tell you my experiences with men too, but I want to start with the ladies. There was another lady I met. So I was having a discussion with my friend and she didn't believe, because we were talking about invisibility. It was actually a girl that I dated, okay? My friend was having a discussion about invisibility, prophecy, angels. So she didn't believe, she was like, what are these guys talking about? So then she said something in her mind. She said it in our local language, and I turned and I looked at her and I said this, I know you don't believe, but the same way you said this thing in your mind right now, and I said it word for word, and she stood up from the chair and she screamed immediately and she ran away from me. She was like, how did I know? I said, now you believe, right? Before you were thinking it's fake, but now you believe. Now, I know you want to watch this video. You watch this video because you want to learn how Pearlman does it. You want to know whether it's trick or real. How it actually gets people's PIN code. Now, I've done it before. I've done it multiple times. In 2022, okay? You can see something if you observe. When I want to remember something, I look up and I try to create a visualization. That is how to remember stuff. So I'll see the event. Now, I'm in 2022. There was a guy, he came to my apartment. So I was with a friend too. We were prophesying, getting information. But obviously, I'm better than the guy. So I wanted to go deeper. I was calling names, details about the guy. That my friend was very, very angry because, it was like, how am I able to do it? So I now said, I want to show him boss level. So the guy I was prophesying to, and I looked at him. I saw his ATM card. And I told him, I want to call your ATM code right now. Card! The guy was like, really? So the moment he said, really, I just saw the PIN code. I just called it 1996. And he screamed like, wow, yes, that's my PIN code. But I know the code. I know how it works. Now, for magicians online, because this is what magicians do. They mix the two together. Sometimes they do tricks, while sometimes they do the real stuff. They know about telepathy because I've had the opportunity, the privilege to study some mentalists, okay? Darren Brown. They don't actually reveal those things. Like Darren Brown, like Chris Angel, David Blaine, those magicians, they mix the two. They can actually do those things. But sometimes, they just use tricks. So they know both. So his horn is wondering, can Pearlman do those things? He can do it to some level. He might not be able to do it the way, people are watching online. But I know he can do those stuff. I know. So back to what I was talking about. I observed that there are different kinds of telepathy, right? But I observed that if you do some particular practices, some particular spiritual practices, you'll be able to see people's thoughts. Yes, through clairvoyance. You will see it or you will hear that thought in your mind. Now I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it, and I'll clear some misconceptions. Now the trick part, which most people talk about. They'll be like, oh, these things are fake, it's not real. Oh, if you are prophesying to people, you've gotten their details. Oh, you are following them around, you are checking their Facebook. I know some people do that. Some people check your Facebook, they check information about you, they follow you all around, they can hack your bank to see the code, which most people are accusing Pearlman of doing. They said maybe he's hacking people's bank, then seeing their details. You know, all kind of things. Maybe you are following them around. But if you study this guy, you see that no. There are some things that he's doing that you just can't, there's no way you could have gotten that information. There is no way you can get the information with technology. No. Though there are some things that you can do with technology, but some things you can't just do them with technology, which is the spiritual part I'm going to explain to you. If you do some particular set of meditation, you activate your astral body and you'll be able to operate in the realm of thought. So thoughts become tangible to you. So you'll be able to hear thoughts and you'll be able to see thoughts. When I was making my video, Summoning Angels course, the videographer was recording me. I paid $1,000 to the videographer to help me record that course, how to summon angels. In case you're interested, you can reach out to me. So the videographer was recording me and I was speaking the thoughts of his friend. The videographer was like, how is it possible? I was telling him word for word, this is what you are thinking in your mind, names and details. To him, it's a thought, right? But to me, I'm seeing the thought, like it's very clear to me. So if he says, wow, this is amazing, I will see it written in the air. Wow, this is amazing. If he thinks of something, if he says a name in his mind, David, I'll actually see it written in the air in front of me. Why? Because I've activated my astral eye and I'm ready to see what is appearing. I can actually see thoughts. So if you observe, Pearlman, it will tell you to visualize. I want you to visualize. He always says, I want you to visualize, you know, see something. That's why he's able to get those details, because he can see what you are thinking. Telepathy is the art of seeing what someone is thinking. So why he was able to get Joe Rogan's pin, which is something that usually happens. If you ask somebody, what's your name? And you say, stop. They've thought about the name. So you will see the name and you just tell them. Telepathy happens on the spot. You are only able to see it because they thought about it. So if they don't think about it, you won't see it. So when the Pearlman is doing his, you know, magic tricks and things like that, he'll tell you, think about it, think about it, think about it in your mind, think about it. Obviously, he knows that you won't tell him. Yeah. So once you think about it, you will see it. But back then, when I was doing telepathy all the time, I would just ask people a question. Oh, what's your PIN code? I said, don't worry, don't tell me. But they've already thought about it. So I'll see 1196. They already thought about it. So I've seen it already. I've seen it already. So if you want to be able to read people's mind, you need to understand that reading people's mind involves you getting what is in their mind at the moment, like currently what they are thinking right now. That's number one. Number two, if they know that if they don't think about it, you can't get the information. So if they are trying to block their mind, tell them to think about it properly. Tell them to think about it. Tell them to visualize. Tell them to visualize. But if you ask them sensitive information, like what's your PIN code, and they say it in their mind, you will definitely get the answer. Now, what are the meditations that you need to do this kind of thing? You know, I read it in a book somewhere. There are some specific words that activate telepathy. It's called mind read energy, take away normal feed, FEED. Mind read energy, take away normal feed. I recited it like 4 times and I just became able to do telepathy, but at the first level. Like, you just know what someone is thinking, but that one cannot really read thought. So I moved to the next step. I started doing meditations, accumulation of energy in my spiritual body. This thing is not faith, though. It's not just having faith. No, you must have faith that it will work, right? But then you accumulate energy into your spiritual body. Then you start to do a series of meditations that your mind is connected to everybody's mind. You must have the belief that you can read thought, that you can hear thought. Then you now begin to study your own thought, how you receive your thoughts, how you think. For example, 1 in your mind, say 1, 2, say, how did you hear it? 3, 4, 5, how are you hearing it in your mind? 6, 7, then start to visualize it. Once you think about something, 1, visualize 1, 2, visualize 2. Hello, visualize hello, how did you see it? Somebody is coming. Somebody is coming. You want to see it written in the air. Somebody is coming. Once you begin to do those series of visualization, And when someone is talking to you, you are visualizing the words that they are saying, you are reading it out. After like 2 weeks to 1 month, you achieve the power of telepathy. So if you ask somebody, what's your PIN code? And they think about it, you see 2012. You will see it clearly and you tell them 2012. But if they do not think about it, you can't know it. That's how telepathy is. Especially if they're in front of you. If you ask them a question and they say it in their mind, you'll get it. But if they do not say it in their mind, you won't get it. Do you understand? So maybe that's where the trick part is coming. You know, those mentalists, they can do some of those things now. They do all kind of practice, but they mix everything all together. They mix everything all together. Those guys have strong mental powers. You know, mentalists, they just focus on power of the mind. Some of them, they even believe in God that much. They don't really see a difference between spiritual abilities and, you know, mental abilities, or, you know, psychology or knowledge. So that's just what I think about the whole issue. So if you want to learn how to do telepathy, you can reach out to me. If you want to learn how you can prophesy to you, maybe you see the past, the future, it's good, but there's limit to telepathy. Like me now, I can do clairvoyance, right? I can look at somebody and I'll tell you everything that has happened to you in the past, everything you did in the past. You don't need to think about it, don't worry. Pearlman is limited to, oh, visualize this, visualize that. Oh, I want you to visualize this, because he wants to get the information from your mind. Me, I don't need to tell you to visualize anything. I'll get it for myself. So that's the difference between telepathy and clairvoyance. Telepathy will not get any information unless the person thinks about it. But clairvoyance will get any information. The person does not need to think about it. I don't need to do a show and be like, oh, I want you to think about something. No, I can get that information myself without asking you. And telepathy cannot tell the future. Clairvoyance can show you the future. This is called the prophetic ability to see into the realm of the spirit. I hope you understand. So let me know what you think about the video in the comment section. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll see you soon. Peace.